Hello, and welcome to Reel+discoveries. I'm your host, Richard Pochard. By 1930, German film director Fritz Lang was in his own Great Depression. His last two films, Metropolis, now considered a classic of the silent era, and the lesser-known By Rocket to the Moon, had both been failures. He was determined to claw his way back to his artistic standing by creating a film using the new novelty of sound. He and his wife, Thea von Harbo, came across an article about serial killers in Germany written by Egon Jacobsen, and together they wrote the screenplay that Lang would later refer to as his greatest movie ever made. And critics, including myself, have been in full agreement ever since. That film was, of course, the immortal classic M. M starred Peter Lorre as Hans Beckert, a man who cannot control his compulsion to kill young children, typically girls. Although none of his crimes are shown on the screen, in fact, none of the children are ever found, the speculation by the police, based on a letter sent by Beckert to the local newspaper, is that the murders are quite foul, and that the killer may be sexually molesting the children as well. We see Beckert's M.O., though not Beckert himself, early on in the film, as he compliments a young girl named Ellie on her pretty ball and buys her a child-shaped balloon from a blind beggar, all the while whistling Griegs in the Hall of the Mountain King. This tune is used by Lang throughout the film as a sort of leitmotif to represent Beckert, even when he is not visible on camera. The police are baffled by the case. A number of children have vanished by the start of the film, and the town is on the edge of panic. A man innocently telling a child what time it is almost lynched by a mob of onlookers. The police start raiding known criminal hangouts every night, which makes it difficult for the criminal element to make a living. An elite group of criminals meet and agree it would be in their best interests to track down the child killer themselves and get the police off their backs. They enlist the town's beggars to watch every block and street they can to find him. At last, he is spotted escorting a young girl. To make it easier to track him, one beggar uses a piece of chalk to make an M on the palm of his hand and fakes an altercation with Beckert to transfer it to his back, thus marking him as the killer, and hence the title of the film. Beckert discovers the mark as the criminals and beggars start to form a web closing in on him. He abandons the girl and runs into an office building to hide just before it closes. The criminals break into the building and search it thoroughly, finally finding him in the attic and getting him out seconds before the police arrive. Beckert is taken to the cellar of a closed-down distillery where he is to be tried by a kangaroo court before hundreds of criminals waiting for the word to cut him to pieces. Now, some of you out there might be having trouble picturing Peter Lorre in such a dramatic role, given his proclivity for playing the bumbling sidekick in so many well-known films. Though a brilliant comic actor, Lorre is even more brilliant as Beckert, turning in what is, in my opinion, his greatest performance. His approach to the young girls sends shivers when you see how easily and naturally he gets them to go along with him. In the climactic trial scene, he gives a powerful monologue defending his actions, which must be heard in the original German version and not the English version that was released later. In it, he attacks his accusers, who are criminals because they choose to be, for persecuting him for performing acts over which he has no control.
Ich kann doch nichts dafür. Das kennen wir! Alle nicht dafür!
Was weißt denn du? Was redst denn du? Wer bist du denn überhaupt? Wer seid ihr denn? Alle miteinander. Verbrecher. Bildet euch womöglich noch was ein drauf, weil ihr Geldschränke knacken könnt oder Fassaden klettern oder Karten zinken. Lauter Sachen, denke ich mir, die ihr gerade so gut lassen könntet, wenn ihr was Ordentliches gelernt hättet. Oder wenn ihr arbeitet. Oder wenn ihr nicht so faule Schweine wärt. Aber ich, kann ich denn anders? Habe ich denn nicht dieses Verfluchte in mir? Das Feuer, die Stimme, die Qual.
Du willst also damit sagen, dass du morden musst?
Immer muss ich durch Straßen gehen und immer spüre ich, da ist einer hinter mir her. Das bin ich selber und verfolgt mich. Lautlos. Aber ich höre es doch. Ja, manchmal ist mir, als ob ich selber hinter mir herliefe. Ich will von mir selber davonlaufen. Aber ich kann mir nicht entkommen. Muss den Weg gehen, den es mich jagt. Muss rennen, endlose Straßen. Ich will weg. Und mit mir rennen die Gespenster von Müttern, von Kindern. Die gehen nie mehr weg. Die sind immer da. Immer. Nur nicht, wenn ich's tue. Dann weiß ich von nichts mehr. Dann stehe ich vor einem Plakat und lese, was ich getan habe, und lese. Was habe ich getan? Aber ich weiß doch von gar nichts. Aber wer glaubt mir denn? Wer weiß denn, wie sie mir aussieht, wie es schreit und brüllt da innen, wie ich tun muss, will nicht, muss, und dann schreit eine Stimme und ich kann es nicht mehr hören. Hilfe! Ich kann nicht.
The speech is eloquent to the point of moving his so-called defense attorney to beg the court to turn him over to the police rather than kill him. As I said earlier, this was Lang's first sound film, but he took the liberty of using the silence to sometimes let the camera tell the story. One prime example of this is the scene in which the police raid a criminal area. There is no sound or music, just the camera work and action on the screen enthralling us to silence ourselves. There is, in fact, almost no music in this film, a radical movie that no director in his right mind would do today. But such is the power of Lang's production that the absence of music is virtually unnoticeable, a true feat in any age of cinema. Lang's direction of the camera is brilliant as well. In my favorite scene, Beckert stops to look at a display in a store window while stalking a new victim. In the reverse shot, looking through the window at Beckert, the reflection of the display seems to create a glowing framework around him, forcing us to watch Beckert as closely as he is watching his next potential victim. The movie had quite an impact on audiences around the world, including being banned in some countries. Shortly after its release, Lorre, who was a full Jew, and Lang, who was a half-Jew, both left Germany and both eventually ended up in America. In 1951, Seymour Nebenzahl, who was the uncredited producer of the film, served as producer of a Hollywood remake of Lang's classic with David Wayne in the Peter Lorre role. This version had the killer keeping his victims' shoes as souvenirs, a plot device not used in the original. I have not seen this version and cannot imagine it to be anywhere near the brilliance of the original. If I come across a copy of it, perhaps I'll give it a watch and let you know. But that's it for now. I'll see you next time on Reel Discoveries.